Drop the bomb on me, baby. Travis Wingetsell. Church news today. There's the women's leader who went to South Africa, took a token picture with some black women who were staged with clothing to wear for the photo shoot. And the church has come out since 1978 saying Jesus repented of his racism, and then therefore the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is no longer racist since 1978 when Jesus repented for being racist. If you're unfamiliar with this concept in Christianity of having a billion different Christian groups and individuals with their own personal Jesus, as back in the day, Vice President Pence got into an argument with Buttigieg over whose Jesus is more powerful and can beat the other up. Then you have the press lady, drawing a blank on her name at the moment. I just covered her this morning from the recording last night, who said that Christian Jesus, which her Christian Jesus, is upset with Mormons and their Christian Jesus with the 4.1 earthquake later that evening after Charlie Kirk was assassinated. So yeah, even among Christians, there is still this great division of whose Jesus is the one true Jesus. You're all wrong. Try Jewish. Try Jewish. Nope, they won't. And then the other article that was posted today was other women's leaders who were demonstrating how they're also not racist. With wherever they went and having the people of that land where they went perform for them. In case you don't know this kind of racism, this is old school racism, you know, like the age of the living prophets of Jesus of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. That old school racism. Because I still remember growing up in this church, we used to have cultural activities in the cultural hall during the week, most likely on the weekend, like Friday night or Saturday, in which the ethnics in our wards like I said, old school racism are called upon to perform their cultural ethnicity. This goes back to Great Britain again. When the royalty would conquer slaves from Africa or obtain little people to perform as court jesters, all of it was for the pleasure of the royalty to observe. It was never about giving them human dignity and equal rights. They were just entertainers. And so, as much as blacks have demonstrated their superb abilities in various sports fields, nonetheless, this is still old school racism that allowed for it. even though the white players that originally dominated the field were unhappy that they were getting pushed out. So, nonetheless. So, speaking about a black woman, Candice Owens. I have not heard of anything she has said. I have only heard what are they being called now? Trans lefty terrorist news. Fake news. Who keep complaining about what she says. I don't hear what she says, I just only hear their emotional reaction to what Candice Owens has said. Similar to Charlie Kirk. I've never listened to Charlie Kirk. I only hear what the trans lefty terrorists of the fake news media, as they're called, calls him for what he said recently. I don't click on that kind of stuff for that kind of stuff. I choose what I want to watch. And so for the news on YouTube, I only go over the titles of the news, and I go over all the main news. I don't do tabloids by John Blow, who's gonna set me straight on the real deep state. None of those crap stuff. And I have YouTube never recommend them to me as often as they keep flooding my feed with them for me to watch. And so now YouTube is saying, well, okay, if you won't select what we tell you to select, you're now going to have to pay to get views for your videos now. And this isn't new. Amazon did it for my books. I had to publish or publicize, whatever they're calling it, my books in order to have them recommend my books to other people. It's an extortion threat. I'm not happy. Amazon especially, because Amazon takes 99.9% of all your royalties anyway, forcing you to sell your products for $1 billion in order to get a penny out of it. Just a waste of time. But yeah, if I can sell it for as cheap as possible to get it out to all the world, yeah, it was fine for that, but academia is free. And I'm still seeing people coming to my LinkedIn channel. Oh my hell, I have abandoned that. I don't post on it. I haven't even updated it. It's just all wrong, abominable, and corrupt. Why are you going to that? Academia. It has not been compromised yet, but they tried to compromise themselves. Oh, I was pissed with them. And then they backed off. So Candice Owens, as I had found the news about her post last night, I then had to do some research, because what she posted was a bombshell. Further than the bombshell that I've already exposed for you numerous times since the shooting first occurred. It is horrifying that I cannot trust my press, that I cannot trust my own government at whatever level in our nation, down to the very local government officers, that I can't trust them to tell me the truth, that they're all lying, that they're leaving out information, they're not covering the facts and the evidence, They're doing emotional responses and poll data and opinion panels. Crap. Give me the news. Tell me the truth. It pissed me off as a kid that my white supremacist Christian nationalist born-again Christian peers couldn't tell me the truth. And then to grow up and find out, yep, even my own religion, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, is not telling me the truth either. Everybody's lying. And they're all pushing to see whose lie will dominate. And now we've got AI, where we can't trust anything anymore. On September 2nd, Trump claims that he has a video of bombing a Venezuelan boat full of drugs and full of people. The Venezuelan president comes out and says it's an AI deepfake. And there may be some truth to that. Because AI was first used in a presidential election last year, in which all of Trump's trans-lefty terrorists voted for Trump. Didn't vote for Harris. So when Trump takes office, immediately he starts signing orders to protect the rights of AI and to get his own AI system going and enforces it throughout the land. So yes, it's getting even harder to trust the news in our own government, let alone search engines about the church's information. Lies are everywhere. If only there was some book that would teach us how to discern truth from lies, so that we would not be deceived. If only there was somebody out there who started a religion. Oh, dear God. Joseph Smith, Book of Mormon. So, yeah. Where'd that paper go? I wrote it down. Yeah, the Book of Mormon warned in advance of Karl Marx, Darwin, Freud, Albert Einstein, psychology, Christianity, Islam, and the idol god porn. And Mormons had it the whole time, and instead they're all arguing over all the nutcase stuff they come up with. So, Candice Owens, last night, produced a picture, posted it. Millions of views. At 6:38 p.m. And again, I had to shut down my whole system because of the Microsoft cyber attack for trying to assemble this video content for you. Yeah, just like last month, Microsoft attacked under orders of YouTube in conspiracy with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Yeah, Friday. Guess what the church is threatening? They have a pattern of practice, and yes, I notified my FBI. They didn't notify the FBI if I'm committing crimes. Nope, they committed crimes accusing me of committing crimes rather than going to the FBI like I did for their crimes against me. Nonetheless, I am horrified that my FBI still has not taken down this church, that they're allowing this front to continue to go after Mormons, not the church, so the church can get their kingdom back and murder President Donald John Trump. Just horrifying. Trump has declared war against these Mormon trans-lefty terrorists, and he's not taking down the church. They're in charge of all of it. It's right there in the Book of Mormon. I read it for you in the morning video that I recorded last night. It's amazing how the Book of Mormon is so true. So she has a photo of him at the Dairy Queen in Orem at 6:38 p.m. So that shoots down to hell. The hearing with the filing and the arrest. Oops, somebody perjured themselves in court. As doing the research, I found out more of what was said in that hearing and the press conference afterward by the prosecutor. Oh, he needs to be locked up in prison, be removed from the bar, have his license banned, never practice law again, serve time in prison for his abomination that he did. He is in on the conspiracy to assassinate President Trump, as President Trump has been closely involved with this, as they're trying to give him updates on it, and Trump is reporting what he's being told, and he's being told lies. And then Trump goes and posts it and talks to Fox and Friends about the lies he was told to humiliate Trump live on air. And they're not taking down this church. They framed Trump. They're using him. And I keep warning, and nobody's listening to me. And I'm being attacked by Mormon trans-lefty terrorists. So, there's more involved. It's approximately 400 feet from the location that they're claiming on the Luzay building. Doing some research from experts who are sharpshooters, they taught about zero range and zero angle. And they explain how 400 feet is beyond. Because this is where the ammo being used is now subject to the law of gravity and begins to descend. And so as a sharpshooter, you need to know how far your ammo is going to go until it then starts to descend, and then you need to know the rate of descent if you're going to make a sharpshooting kill shot from beyond the zero range, zero angle. Professionals, they know more about it than I do. I just watch the TV shows and the movies about it. But now there's another problem that adds to the perjury. We were told it was a bolt-action rifle in the beginning. They had found it. There was no DNA, there was no fingerprints, but they found in the wooded forest palm print and elbow print. Later they then came out and changed the evidence to say it was a Mauser, And so there's no need for the screwdriver. And so then I hear of the report from the hearing and from the prosecutor afterward, who went back to the bolt action. Went back to daddy, not mommy. And that's the grandfather's gun, rifle, that we had heard about as the new evidence. This is so wrong. So wrong. Because now they're trying to claim from the hearing that the Mauser is wrong, even though the Mauser replaced the bolt action. And so from the hearing, we also learn, I think it even was reported prior to the hearing, again, more change in evidence, as now a towel was found with DNA, as well as others, but they'd still left out the markings on the ammo, engravings on the ammo of trans-lefty hate, terrorist hate. And so the story of Tyler receiving the grandfather's bolt action would explain why in the texts, which Candice destroys. Candice, zip it. Shh, zip it. No, don't do it. He was going to buy a $2,000 scope for his bolt action. Never did. And so he made this shot with a bolt action rifle beyond the shooting range because he'd have to be an expert kill shooter. One shot. That's all. State of Utah. You can do it while on DUI, getting arrested by the cops, being shamed all over the news. As the press were laughing at him. One call, that's all. His billboard's still up. And so it's a gift from his grandfather. He doesn't have a scope for it yet. And supposedly he takes it to the roof and was able to have it disappear from the camera footage and the video footage. Remember, no rifle seen on that person who went to the roof and jumped off the roof. No rifle. They only talk about the rifle because of the forest. And there's no scope on it. And so he does it free sight from approximately 400 feet, which is beyond the range. This is his first time shooting, if we are going to believe the narrative. First time ever. And he got turned in because supposedly daddy, oh yeah, you got the rifle from ground. You said bolt action. See, you know, if they had said Mauser, no, Tyler would never have been, yeah, it was a bolt action. It wasn't a Mauser. Yeah, it can't be my son, even though it does sort of look like him, even though that picture is all blurred and fuzzy. But oh, look, the next day after Travis chewed out Cash Patel for not providing clearer pictures, they magically got clearer. This is just wrong. This is just so wrong. And so, yes, the whole thing is wrong. And thanks to Candice to make it even more wrong. She doesn't think so. She thinks she's helping with the case. And so, yeah, there's no way a first-time shooter can get a first-time kill shot beyond the distance with all of the expertise required to make this shot. And looking at the one picture by CBS of the aerial footage, as they got a confirmed and a check mark. Again, the kill shot was clearly this way. Now, depending on the angle of the trajectory will determine where from the fugal building it actually came from. Because the distance shown indicates that it may not have been on the roof of the fugal building, that it may have been from one of the windows. And depending on the trajectory would determine which window and which level of floor it was. Nobody wants to talk about that. So, going to the forest. Little bunny foo-foo hopping through the forest. There is no forest. Google Maps shows very clearly there are just trees and backyards. There is no forest. They lied. Again. The most potential densely covered forests, if he did come from the Luze building, there's a little path that leads to the West 925 Street, South Street, or South 725 West Street. It depends on the post office as to when it changes. It's a curve. And so there's a path that cuts right in between. That's South 700 West Street. And so they're most likely talking about the trees to the left of the path between the two houses. Oh dear God. So yeah, this is what he's in the text trying to claim to his boyfriend. Shh, he's not ready to come out of the closet yet. Even though he talked, oh my God, don't even get me started on this abomination. So many lies. We cannot trust any of it. And supposedly the roommate has been taken into protective custody and nobody is able to know his identity and know where he is, or what? Did you make him up? Because the parents found out for the first time. He was living with somebody, and it was a guy who's trying to be trans? What? This is the first time we're hearing of it. Oh, we're not supposed to write that in our official statements? We're supposed to say that we knew it all along, and we were deeply concerned that he was leaving the church and becoming apostate, and which is why the church is punishing him. In case you don't know Mormonism and D. Todd Christofferson and the Strengthening Church Members Committee. And so, yeah, he's trying to claim in the texts or emails or whatever crap that he can't get his rifle because there's cops all over the area. Well, no, duh. It's right there. What the hell? But for him, the texts even indicate that he didn't drop it to get away. Again, we're being lied to. If he's talking about, oh, I can't go back to get my rifle. What do you mean you can't go back to get your rifle? What the hell are you talking about? You take it with you. You leave. You get away. There was a private jet who left. Why didn't you get on that one? They're claiming that Tyler is completely mentally retarded and doesn't know how to commit a crime, and yet he's a professional sharpshooter for his first time. Just a lucky shot, I guess. Because technically he missed, and by missing, he got him. Oh my God. Just awful. Just awful. So, where are you? There we are. So the Dairy Queen is 11 minutes away. Everybody's saying it's 15 minutes. No, 11. And probably 2 minutes in Utah time. They get to church at least 15 minutes late, but to get to the Dairy Queen, yeah, record-breaking time, running through stop signs, running through red lights, assuming they don't hit any pedestrians, which is a common thing that happens in Utah. Nonetheless, 11 minutes, normal driving time. And apparently he's hung out, according to Candice Owens' picture, that she insists is not AI. Of him at the Dairy Queen that evening. He hung out in Orem, apparently, all that evening. Now, there's some other problems with the hearing and the texts that were read to us. And every single news reported and didn't even think it was an issue. That his cell phone or whatever text to his trans lefty terrorist lover claimed that he was going to do the shooting after he had already done the shooting, and then he says, "What have you done? Did you shoot him?" And we're supposed to be led to believe that he did. And he's still in Orem, in the vicinity. Now, the incident took place just after noon. And so 6:38, when Candice Owen has the picture of, in the Dairy Queen, grill and chill. You got to understand Utah culture. We're the only place on the face of the earth that has Dairy Queen beauty contests. Awesome. So cute. If you know a Mormon girl, ask her if she's a Dairy Queen. She'll probably say yes. 1993 Dairy Queen. And so, because of what Candice has done, investigators are supposed to keep track of all the locations he went after, not just before, which also got screwed up. Because in the hearing, they officially reported that it was the 12:29 a.m. when he arrived with his vehicle, which we only knew about the vehicle after he turned himself in. That is his vehicle that he's licensed and registered with. There is no video, no footage, no pictures, no nothing of the vehicle in Orem. Dairy Queen would have been a perfect time to get that footage. Oops. Just unbelievable how this case is being botched so bigly. And lying to the president to get the president to go on national television to spread their lies so that they can get their kingdom back and assassinate President Trump. Pisses me off. This is old school evil, in case you didn't know about the old school racism. Goes hand in hand with this church. And so yes, there are cameras in the vicinity. There are cameras all around. Why are we only showing limited cameras? Other stores are along this route, or route, depending on your accent. And yet, where else did he go? Where else did he come from? The cameras would have shown where he come from to get to Dairy Queen, and then where he went afterwards from Dairy Queen. But the texts from the hearing, talking to his trans lefty terrorist Mormon lover, are not given a time and date stamping. And I told you to pay attention to that. Because if they put in what is in, if it's real and not made up as forged documents, to establish a motive without any evidence, yeah, we've got a massive conspiracy going on here. All the news just reports that conversation in text form as real, and all of them report there is no time or date stamping of when it occurred, but we are told that it happened after the shooting and that evening. And so Candice Owens, by coming out and saying 6:38 p.m. he's at the Dairy Queen, and in the red shirt, not the black shirt. TMZ reported the red shirt guy arriving at 8:07 a.m., not 8:29 a.m. And in the hearing, 8:29. Which again, it's 3.5 hours from the UVU to his home in St. George. And yet, Fox News put 2.5 hours. Oops. 3.5, guys. But because of the report, that's why Fox put 2.5. Which means the report is further perjuring itself by claiming it only took 2.5 hours for the cops to come down from Orem to Washington County in St. George to then get him and take him back into jail. And then, yeah, there's more as I've been going over the retracted statement of the police chief who came out the next day. Oh my God. I found out in the hearing that I had lied in my statement, and so I'm going to correct my statement, which now is true. The previous one was false and a lie, but I was doing it to protect people. I mean, not cover up and tamper with witnesses. Oh crap! I'm digging a deeper hole. Yeah. What the police chief was exposing was that they are making up a narrative, and they are getting the evidence to fit that narrative, and thus the bolt action instead of the Mauser. But again, no rifle on the guy on the Luze building. That's what it all comes down to. Is the guy on the Luze building, there is no connection to him having a rifle. Kind of need it if you're going to claim he's the shooter of Charlie Kirk. And you got all these other things that are just, oh my God, there's no way in hell this could be the shooter. This guy is innocent. He's getting railroaded and framed, and Trump is getting railroaded and framed and lied to set Trump up. I'm trying to warn, notified the FBI when Microsoft attacked me, reminded the FBI of the spirit attack on the president, and that the Mormon is the CEO. Apparently nobody knows how to investigate. Nobody wants to listen to me. Dear God. So there you go. Candice Owens blows the case wide open and destroys it. Frees Tyler. Oops.